Hi guys, this is Travis with Beyond Bipolar blog. Today I'm going to talk about akathisia, one of the worst side effects regarding antipsychotics. Now, regarding antipsychotics, I feel akathisia is one of the worst side effects you could ever experience. Now, there's other side effects such as weight gain, but I've never been suicidal on that. There is catatonia, which is just over resultation of listlessness. One is somnolence, which is tiredness. And number four is just increased suicidal thoughts. Now, suicidal thoughts can be worse than akathisia, but the length of it can be not as grueling, and that's why I feel akathisia is one of the worst side effects. No, it can also happen with antidepressants. I'm not sure about mood stabilizers, but I've had akathisia with the antipsychotics Abilify and Vega, and Abilify and Vega and Risperdal. Risperdal was one of the worst, and in fact, I've been on I tried 7 antipsychotics in 2009. First, it was Risperdal, and then it was Invega, and then it was Abilify. But then I ended up being on Risperdal for a year. I was struggling with akathisia, and that was the reason why I've had so much post-traumatic stress. Was not due to the suicidal ideations I've had regarding the fact that I hung up a rope, but it was actually because of the akathisia I was experiencing. So if you are wondering what is akathisia is like restless leg syndrome to the extreme. Unlike restless leg syndrome, it's a very uncomfortable feeling. It's like this need to pace even though you're exhausted and you feel like your whole body needs to move. It's very uncomfortable. Now, I've been on gabapentin for it to treat the akathisia. I've been on clonidine to treat the akathisia. One's a nerve agent. The other one is not quite sure but it was actually a trial error to deal with akathisia. However, they did not actually end up working. In fact, my second suicidal hospitalization was actually in 2010 when the actual reason for suicidal ideations was not due to the thoughts, depression, or mania. It was actually due to the akathisia I was experiencing on Risperdal. Now, I feel that the akathisia is so bad that uh, I really literally wanted to take my own life because it was just a terrible feeling. Now, with the current medication regimen I'm on, Latuda doesn't seem to cause so much akathisia, but it is written in the side effects that akathisia can be drawn out by any antipsychotic. I just feel like Latuda is one of the least exasperating one. Now, I've been on Latuda for 7 years now, and I did experience some restlessness, but not to the extreme where I wanted to commit suicide because of the restlessness. I think you had to, if you haven't felt the restlessness regarding akathisia, that's probably a good thing. But if you have, maybe you can relate to how dreading the feeling is, because it's really hard to explain. If you imagine you're on so much coffee that you feel like you're so revved up, but not not physically. It's more of a mental state where you feel like you have to always move. It's like you're getting pumped up for something, but even though you don't want to be pumped up for something, and that is such a horrible feeling. um there's other various side effects, but I just wanted to describe the one that I felt was the worst and impacted me the worst kind of way. I feel that even with my psychiatrist at the time, she stated that there are some people in general that have committed suicide due to the akathisia, and that's how serious this side effect can become. Now, I do know and I do understand that there are some antidepressants that can increase akathisia, but with antipsychotics, that is one of the most exasperated one. Yeah, it sucks to have weight gain. Yeah, it sucks to have catatonia, which is listlessness. Yeah, it sucks to have somnolence, which is tiredness. Yeah, it sucks to have maybe suicide ideations, but it's not to the extreme because it's only like a substandard temporary feeling that can actually be resolved over a period of time. But akathisia stands with you from day and night, and it's so bad that you feel like you have to exercise, you feel like you have to move, and that movement is really dreading. I know I like to pace a lot. I know I like to lose weight regarding pacing and walking and being on the treadmill and staying in shape, but this feeling is not intentional. It's not a feeling that I feel like I want to wake up to every morning, which is the need to walk, not due to boredom, but due to the neurological behavior that's happening within your body. I just want you guys to know, if you ever experience akathisia, that it's probably better to change medications. Now, I hadn't had these medications didn't work. They either cause catatonia, weight gain, somnolence, or the last one that I experienced was dystonia. Dystonia is like involuntary movement of your facial features. I have some of it. I noticed in some of my videos, but it's not where I want to kill myself. But I've been on Seroquel, didn't cause any akathisia. Geodon didn't cause akathisia, just include suicidal ideations at a certain period of time. Zyprexa and Clozaril just made me sleep from 14 to 16 hours a day, which is 4. And like I listed, Abilify, Invega, and Risperdal, and those were the 3 toxic ones that I felt akathisia was the worst. If you aren't apparently aware of all these side effects, be aware that you need to know these side effects because they could become permanent. And if you don't deal with it now, it's probably better to figure out in the future, because long term it wouldn't be a good idea to be on any of these meds if you feel like the increased suicidation is happening more frequently due to whether it could be any of these experiences that you might have. But I feel like the permanent problem I had was akathisia, and I just couldn't stand it. So I literally wanted to end my life because it got so bad. It's such a dreading feeling. It's worse than having suicidal ideations temporary, because it's a long, grueling, uncomfortable sensation. That uncomfortable sensation, it's like anxiety, but it comes as a physical ailment where you can't do anything. And it's hard to describe because I don't want to ever have that feeling again. I don't ever want to experience akathisia again, though I do have some restlessness. You might experience imagine you're in a very small enclosure, but you want to move because it's just so uncomfortable. That's kind of similar to what akathisia feels like. You're just in such a tight enclosure, like a trap or a small cage, and you feel so uncomfortable that you have to move. That's literally what akathisia feels like, because you're so uncomfortable, you want to get suicidal, you want to end up maybe taking your own life. That's how bad it can be. Now, the one mistake that you guys have to realize is that, like I said, clonidine and the nerve agent gabapentin or Rontin might be given to you to temporarily manage the akathisia, but for me, none of those drugs work. So in the nutshell, I want you guys to know akathisia is a terrible side effect. It can increase suicidation to the point I know people where the psychiatrist is that they took their own life because the akathisia was bad. And it was due to not because of suicidation. It was due to the side effect of akathisia regarding the bipolar medication, the antipsychotic that you're on. So be aware that this is such a severe side effect. I haven't mentioned this in the video, but it is a side effect that I've had. So feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you're interested in more Beyond Bipolar blog videos regarding mental health, or any motivational or physical or creative techniques that you just want to be interested in my life. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to that, and hit the bell button if you want to see more videos. So I just basically talk about akathisia. It's such a horrible and dreaded restless leg syndrome, but to the extreme that you might want to take your own life. Take care, have a good one, and please comment below if you ever experienced the symptoms. If you haven't, be lucky, because be wary, and if you're not familiar with it, you will be aware of it if you ever have it. Thanks again, take care, have a good one. Bye. This is Travis signing off.